Sometimes, a person's absence speaks louder than their presence. It might sound unusual, but the truth is that there are moments when the space we leave behind carries more meaning than our constant presence ever could. This isn't about loss or nostalgia. It's about influence, the quiet kind that comes from authenticity and depth. Stoic philosophy understood this well, the art of leaving a mark not by being everywhere, but by being someone whose presence carries weight and whose absence reveals significance. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, believed that everything we do, every choice, every action, every word, echoes through eternity. Our way of being shapes the world around us. When we act with awareness, integrity, and calm strength, we leave behind something that lasts long after we're gone. A calm presence today becomes a lasting memory tomorrow. What we're exploring here is not a psychological trick or a form of manipulation. It's a process of inner development, learning how to become so whole, so genuine, that when you're not there, your absence becomes a meaningful silence rather than an empty space. It's not about being missed for attention. It's about being remembered for substance. Think of someone you once knew, quiet, thoughtful, never demanding to be noticed. But when they left, the atmosphere changed. You felt something missing, something you couldn't quite name. That is the kind of impact Stoicism teaches us to create. Influence through depth, not dominance. In this video, we'll explore how to apply Stoic principles to build an independent and authentic sense of self. Develop a presence so grounded that your absence is felt deeply. Leave a lasting impression without attachment or control. Cultivate a calm inner world that quietly shapes the world around you. Everything begins within. Stoicism teaches that before we can influence others, we must master ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. The stronger we become inside, the more effortlessly our presence carries meaning. If you enjoy content that helps you grow through philosophy and psychology, subscribe to the Stoic Mind channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. A person who truly has themselves is always magnetic. Stoicism teaches us that real independence isn't about isolation or emotional detachment. It's about cultivating inner freedom and personal power. When you build a life that feels meaningful, grounded, and fulfilling on your own terms, you naturally become someone others are drawn to. You stop chasing validation because you are already living in alignment with who you are. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem captivating without even trying? Someone painting with focus and love, a climber lost in the rhythm of the mountain, or a writer quietly absorbed in their thoughts. These people attract us not because they want attention, but because their energy feels alive. There's something complete about them, a quiet confidence that radiates from within. Our passions and hobbies are not just ways to fill time, they're expressions of our inner world. They shape our identity. When we allow ourselves to grow in multiple directions, intellectually, emotionally, creatively, we become multidimensional human beings. And people sense that depth. It's why individuals who are truly engaged with life often feel more vibrant and attractive. Maintaining friendships and social connections is another reflection of inner balance. It shows that we don't rely on one person for our sense of worth or happiness. In relationships, this is crucial. So many connections suffocate when one partner becomes the other's only source of meaning. But when each person has a rich, full life outside the relationship, a life filled with purpose, learning, and growth, the bond becomes lighter, healthier, and far more genuine. Here's something essential to remember. Every time you invest in your goals, your career, your education, or your self-development, you're sending a clear message. I'm not waiting for life to happen to me. I'm creating it. That mindset is powerful. It's magnetic. because nothing is more attractive than a person who hasn't abandoned themselves, someone who is actively shaping their own path. Stoic philosophy puts it beautifully. First, make yourself whole, then share yourself with others. When you approach life this way, you don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to chase affection. You become the kind of person whose presence feels steady, whose energy brings calm, and whose absence is felt deeply, not because you demanded attention, but because you carried genuine depth. Be yourself. Be grounded. Be whole. The right people will be drawn to you, naturally, effortlessly, and for all the right reasons. How do we make our presence truly memorable in someone's mind and heart? Stoic philosophy isn't just about enduring hardship or staying strong under pressure. It's also about embracing the full spectrum of human experience: joy, curiosity, discovery, and even vulnerability. It reminds us that life becomes meaningful not only when we survive it, but when we participate in it with awareness and openness. Think about spontaneous moments, an unexpected road trip with a friend, cooking a strange new dish together, or laughing over something that went hilariously wrong. These aren't just forms of entertainment. They're shared experiences, small, vibrant pieces of life that connect two people on a deeper level. From a psychological point of view, such moments trigger dopamine, the brain's chemical of pleasure and reward. When we share joy, excitement, or new experiences with someone, our brains literally record those moments together. The feeling of happiness becomes intertwined with the person we experienced it with. That's how emotional bonds are formed, not through constant words, but through meaningful, shared experiences. Now imagine starting something new with someone: a painting class, learning a new language, or even trying to cook a meal neither of you has ever made before. You make mistakes, you laugh, you get better together. That journey, the process of learning side by side, creates a deep connection because it's filled with genuine emotions, cooperation, and growth. It becomes a shared story, a memory that neither of you can recreate with anyone else in exactly the same way. The Stoics believed deeply in the power of the present moment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." In other words, bring your full attention and heart to whatever you are doing. When you are truly present, even simple acts, sharing a meal, walking together, having an honest conversation, can become profound and unforgettable. When we spend time with someone mindfully, we're not just passing hours. We're creating experiences that leave emotional imprints, traces of connection that linger in the other person's memory long after we're gone. Those moments are what make our presence unforgettable. So if you want to leave a lasting mark on someone's heart, don't focus on being impressive. Focus on being present. Live the moment with openness, curiosity, and sincerity. Because it's not the words people remember most, it's how they felt when they were with you. Now, let's move on to another essential aspect of relationships: effective communication. Stoic philosophy teaches us that balance is key in all things, even in the way we speak and connect with others. In relationships, good communication isn't measured by how often we talk or how many messages we send. It's about how we communicate and what we choose to share. Instead of sending 10 messages a day or constantly calling, sometimes a single thoughtful sentence, a shared memory, or a genuine question about the other person's well-being can have a far greater impact. Quality always outweighs quantity. For example, imagine sending a message that says, "I saw a quote today, and it reminded me of you. People who brighten your heart are a kind of miracle themselves." Or perhaps sharing a photo of a sunset you saw, or a song that made you think of them. These are subtle yet powerful ways of saying, "I'm present, I notice you, I care." The secret to leaving a lasting impression on someone's heart is to be fully yourself, with intention and presence. Not too much, not too little. Just enough to be reassuring, meaningful, and engaging without overwhelming. In other words, people don't just miss someone for the sake of absence. They feel the absence of someone who brought meaningful presence into their lives. That's what makes a person unforgettable. So focus on being present in a way that is rich, thoughtful, and intentional. Make your presence something that others enjoy, something that feels nourishing and grounding. Then, even when you're not around, your absence will create a space that feels warm, meaningful, and valued, not just empty or ordinary. In short, it's not the quantity of your presence that matters, but the quality. Be someone whose presence is a gift and whose absence leaves a subtle, lasting echo. Often, we think that in order for someone to miss us, we need to be constantly present in their life, sending more messages, calling more often, and making sure we're always seen. But the Stoics, followers of Stoic philosophy, teach something different. Sometimes absence has a greater impact than constant presence. What does that mean? It doesn't mean withdrawing in anger or disappearing without explanation. Rather, it's about learning to give the other person space to breathe, reflect, and truly appreciate the relationship. This kind of space isn't a game or a form of neglect. It's a form of respect for yourself, and respect for the other person. Have you ever experienced someone being away for a while and noticed that when they returned, you felt even more connected to them than before? That sense of longing, of missing someone, is created precisely because of their absence. When this absence is handled with balance and consideration, it can deepen the relationship. It allows both people to reconnect with renewed appreciation and awareness of each other. It reminds us that healthy relationships aren't about constant presence or dependency, but about mutual respect, personal growth, and the ability to cultivate meaningful space. In essence, the Stoics teach that sometimes being fully present in the right way and absent in the right way can create a bond that is far stronger than simply always being there. Absence, when balanced with respect and care, can actually make our presence more valued, more memorable, and more meaningful. Now, let's turn to something that all of us deal with in modern life: social media. In today's digital world, using these platforms thoughtfully can be a powerful tool for maintaining connection, sparking curiosity, and even deepening relationships. Social media doesn't have to be a mindless stream of posts. It can become a medium for presence, intention, and subtle influence. Many people share only superficial content, pictures of meals, parties, or daily routines. But from a Stoic perspective, posting with care and purpose makes a difference. A post should not just be for display. It should carry meaning, a small insight or reflection. For example, sharing a photo of a mountain climb with a caption that hints at a lesson learned or a personal reflection allows your followers to engage with your experience on a deeper level. In this way, social media becomes more than a scroll. It becomes an invitation to think, reflect, and connect. Stoics also remind us of an important principle. We cannot control what others think of us, but we can control how we present ourselves with honesty, respect, and boundaries. You don't need to reveal every aspect of your life. In fact, if everything is exposed, there's nothing left for others to discover. Maintaining a little mystery, leaving space between what you share, naturally sparks curiosity and engagement. Consider a simple example. If you call or message someone every day and share every detail of your life, the conversation can quickly become repetitive and dull. But if you allow moments of pause, if you leave space between updates, a sense of longing and appreciation emerges. That brief absence makes your presence more meaningful and allows the relationship to deepen. The key here is balance. You neither need to immerse yourself entirely in someone's life nor disappear completely. A mindful, respectful, and measured presence is far more attractive and memorable than constant visibility. As the old saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. The Stoics would agree. Silence and space within relationships, when used wisely, can be full of meaning. They allow both parties to reflect, appreciate, and connect on a level that constant presence often cannot achieve. By approaching social media and daily communication with intentionality, we can transform ordinary interactions into moments that leave lasting impressions, not by forcing attention, but by offering thoughtful, measured, and meaningful presence. Many people assume that creating distance in a relationship means disinterest or manipulation. But the truth is, sometimes a mindful distance can actually deepen affection and strengthen a bond. This is a story of respect, not games. When you consciously choose to step back occasionally, you give the other person the opportunity to truly miss you, to feel your absence, and to appreciate your presence even more. This doesn't mean becoming deliberately indifferent, nor does it mean being constantly available. If you are always present, every hour of every day, your presence gradually becomes ordinary. But when you step away from the immediate space, your return regains value. Your presence becomes something noticed, something appreciated. So what should you do during these periods of distance? Often, people just wait and long for the other person. Stoic philosophy teaches that this time is prime for personal growth. Learn a new skill, read a book, spend time in nature, reflect quietly, or pursue something you've always wanted to do. These moments aren't just about coping with absence. They're about becoming more interesting, more grounded, and more fulfilled. When you return to the relationship, you come with richness, curiosity, and depth. Your absence hasn't created emptiness, it has created growth. A healthy relationship is like a dance. Sometimes you move closer, sometimes you step back. If you are always advancing, it can feel overwhelming or exhausting. If you are always distant, the connection can grow cold. But if you master the rhythm, approaching, retreating, giving space, and returning, the relationship thrives. Another crucial element is excitement and surprise. Stoicism emphasizes living fully in the present, and even small gestures can create lasting memories. A brief, thoughtful note, a small surprise, or an unexpected plan can transform an ordinary moment into something meaningful. For example, a simple message such as, "I have something for you. You'll see it on Friday." Even a single line like this can spark anticipation, curiosity, and excitement, keeping the connection alive in a playful and memorable way. Stoics also remind us that joy is not only in the achievement or arrival, but in the process, in the waiting, the imagining, and the anticipation. You don't need to rely on the other person's reaction to feel satisfaction. You can enjoy your own creativity and thoughtfulness. To summarize this Stoic approach to relationships, you don't need to be constantly present. Sometimes absence is more powerful than presence. Use periods of distance to invest in yourself and your growth. Create small moments of surprise and excitement. Learn the balance in relationships. Don't get too close, don't stay too distant. Enjoy the process and anticipation as much as the moments themselves. By applying these principles, you cultivate relationships that are meaningful, resilient, and balanced, where your presence is valued and your absence leaves a lasting impression, not emptiness. If you found these ideas meaningful, or if they gave you a little nudge to think differently about your relationships and presence, we would truly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement not only helps the channel grow, but it also allows us to create more content that explores meaningful ways to connect, reflect, and grow together. Until the next episode, focus on being fully yourself. Take the time to nurture your own growth, embrace your passions, and cultivate the kind of presence that leaves a lasting impression. And remember, a little absence, when used wisely, can create space for longing, appreciation, and deeper connection. So stay present, stay authentic, and let your presence, and sometimes your intentional absence, enrich the lives of those around you.